The surfaces in your commercial restroom are covered with illness-causing germs and bacteria. To keep your occupants safe in case of an outbreak, your cleaning team should clean and disinfect the surfaces in your restrooms frequently and thoroughly. In today's video, I'll review 5 tips to make sure your cleaning team is disinfecting the surfaces in your restroom properly. Disinfection kills germs that are left behind on surfaces after they've been cleaned. It's important to properly disinfect surfaces in your restroom to reduce the risk of spreading germs throughout your facility. The first tip we'll share regarding restroom disinfection is to make sure that you apply your chosen disinfectant to the toilets and urinals early in the restroom cleaning process. This is because the chemical needs dwell time, meaning the product needs to remain wet on the surfaces for the recommended amount of time as directed by the product label. Before applying a disinfectant, it is critical to remember that you must remove any visible soils before applying a disinfectant. If there are visible soils on the toilet, germs can hide under soils and not be killed by the disinfectant, leaving you and the people in your building at an increased risk of illness. The next restroom disinfecting tip we have for you is that you should frequently disinfect high-touch surfaces. High-touch surfaces in the restroom include toilet handles, soap dispensers, or any other areas that are frequently touched. Because they are touched more often than any other surface, they need to be disinfected more frequently to help minimize the spread of germs and bacteria. Our third tip for restroom disinfection is to make sure that your staff always follows chemical directions carefully. In general, there are 2 key instructions your staff should be aware of when using a disinfecting chemical. Number 1, always clean before you disinfect. Cleaning removes any soil load from a surface so that your disinfectant can properly kill germs and bacteria. Number 2, disinfectants need dwell time on a surface in order to kill germs and bacteria. As mentioned earlier, dwell time is the amount of time a chemical disinfectant needs to remain wet on a surface to effectively kill the germs and bacteria listed on the product label. If your disinfectant has a dwell time of 2 minutes, your staff should be sure that the surface remains wet for a full 2 minutes. Some disinfectant products may be dry before dwell time is met, so your staff should be sure to reapply disinfectant until the dwell time has been met. Another tip for proper restroom disinfection is your janitorial staff should use color-coded microfiber cloths to minimize the risk of cross-contamination in your restroom. During routine restroom cleaning, cross-contamination can occur when using the same cloth to clean different surfaces. In order to avoid spreading germs around the restroom, you can adopt a color-coded microfiber program that outlines what color should be used on which surface. With a color-coded microfiber program, your staff will less likely wipe a toilet with the same cloth that they should wipe down a sink. And to further reduce the risk of cross-contamination, your staff can use the 8-fold method, which would provide them with 8 sides of a microfiber cloth. So that way they can use the same kind of cloth. Finally, the last tip we have for you is that your staff should take the necessary precautions to avoid quat binding if you use quat-based disinfectants. Quats are a popular ingredient used in disinfectants. Quat binding occurs when the positively charged quats are attracted to negatively charged cloths. When this happens, quats-based disinfectants are less effective at killing germs and bacteria on a surface. To avoid quat binding, your staff should use the right tools, apply disinfectant using the spray and wipe method, and test the disinfectant to make sure it's the correct strength. With these 5 best practices for disinfecting your commercial restrooms, you can reduce the risk of bacteria spread, minimize the presence of germs, and make cross-contamination less likely in your facility. For more information on how you can maintain a clean, safe, and healthy restroom, contact an account executive today.